Hello and welcome to this card reading for July 20th through the 26th of 2025. I'm Angelyn. I hope that you are doing well. Let's look first at themes for this week. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords as our theme. So the Queen of Swords is about being able to be calm while there's chaos going on. She's resourceful. She's very sharp. Sometimes she is seen as cold, but really it's just that she is capable and able to be still. And that's the message that I'm getting for this theme is this is a week that you're going to need to be still. We go into Mercury retrograde on the 20th, okay? And we're going to be in retrograde for a little bit. We have a new moon coming on, is it the 24th, I think? So later in the week. These are important things to pay attention to. As you know, communication during Mercury retrogrades is or can be difficult. It is also in the Leo season, and that can mean that there are big disruptions. Or fiery disruptions, things that come on quick and leave quick, things that are destructive possibly. So just keep your eyes open for places that miscommunications can happen. Try to avoid them where you can. Be in stillness. She is telling us that we need to prioritize being in stillness for the week. All right. So let's look at what the cards say so far. Good grief. Okay. So we have the Justice card first. Early in the week, there's going to be some pretty decisive things going on, some things that might seem as if they are sharp, as if they are rigid, as if they're, I often feel it's like energy that pulls us to follow. So you might feel yourself getting pulled in or dragged into a person's realm that's rigid. You might feel like there are rules happening around you in the collective that are uncomfortable or that you're expected to follow. Now, she is facing the King of Pentacles. He's telling us that you need to manage this. So any kind of feeling of rigidity or control or come along and come this way, follow me, you need to manage. You need to make sure that you're on top of. You need to make sure that you are listening and that you're paying attention and that you're on top of those things. Now, as we get into, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday part of the week, we're looking at some big energy that is around walking away. Very clear, walking away from disruption, walking away from dissenters or people who aren't necessarily there for you or on your side. People who you might feel like they're very argumentative. You might just feel that whatever's happening out in the world might be trying to pull you in. There's a big energy that says, no, you need to swipe through. You need to just keep getting through the stuff. We've got the Page of Swords telling us that we've just got to keep moving through. And be willing to walk away, be willing to say, I do not want to be participating in this conversation anymore. I do not wish to talk about this particular thing with you anymore. I do not wish to argue anymore. I do not wish to listen to this particular narrative anymore. It is important that you make sure that you're aware that like there is insanity out there, and that you keep moving forward, and whatever that looks like for you is what you need to do. So for some people that's going to mean tuning out entirely. For some people that's going to mean keeping, you're looking at what's happening but you're looking from way over here. For some people that's going to be talking with people about things, writing their government, their governor, their senators, etc., etc. It might mean getting involved in resistance. I don't know. I get the feeling because of this card, the Six of Swords, though, that there is some amount of just knowing that these things are here that you can't control, and just trying to move forward in the way that works for you, whatever that is. It's right beside this card of walking away. So you've got to be willing to walk away from the stuff that isn't helping and that might be keeping you stuck. So it feels like there's an oppressive energy that we're just going to have to manage and get through, and make sure that we are moving forward in the way that we can. Is there any other advice in terms of like how we should manage this energy? So leaning on our loved ones, asking for help, connecting with people who you can be around and just love, and not have to argue about stuff, and not have to put on any kind of front, but just to be who you are. And make sure that you're communicating. Make sure you're communicating what you need. There's going to be a lot of learning this week. It seems like big lessons, lots of learning. And I don't know exactly what that means. It might mean that we need to actually sit down and say, what am I learning from this? How can I take whatever I've learned and move forward? How can I just get through this week? It seems like it's going to be a pretty busy week. Remember to take times for yourself to be still. Remember to take times to be reflective so that you can see where you can move forward. Remember that the new moon is on the 24th. Take the time you need to set clear intent around stillness and around taking baby steps forward, no matter what's happening. Okay? Good luck. Take it easy. I'll see you next week.